Welcome back, everybody. Well, you know what happens when you break a sander when you're working on the Audis and you're waiting for the sander to arrive in the mail? You decide, you know what? I am going to build a tractor implement. It's like, huh? Okay. All right. What it is that when you have a tractor, one of the greatest things you can put on your tractor is a set of forks. Yeah, I know you can buy them for like 300 bucks, but usually they're really chintzy and I just don't trust them, whatever, and they're a pain in the ass to put on. Well, I said to myself, I said, okay, well, what propagates the ads that people are giving away that look like forks and that can, you know, be very, very useful if it was mounted on a bucket? Well, right here is a set of pallet forks. I got them for free. A guy sold me a cement mixer, and basically I talked him into throwing in this pallet jack for free. What it is, it has a couple of the rubber was worn off the wheels, and it's not good for anybody except scrap. But I want to repurpose everything that's on it. Now, what I have to do is take it apart, strip everything off it, and see what we have for a base structure to make it fit onto this bucket. I mean, don't get me wrong, you have to remember these pallet jacks are hollow on the inside. It's just like a piece of C-channel. But if I ever wanted to brace it, I could and give it like a honeycomb webbing inside there, which is easy enough. But what it is it's not going to be for 2,000 pounds. It's going to be for like for 150, 200 pounds max, which is, I think that's what the ones are rated for, the cheap Chinese ones. But without any further ado, I want to roll this thing over, get my hammer and drill and start pulling out all the pins and knocking out everything and just stripping these things down and to give us something to work with. And that's it. All I want is something to work with, and if it works, cool. If it doesn't, oh well, I tried. So, all right, let me roll this thing over and get some tools, and we'll start pulling it apart. What do we got to do now? Well, we have to do this in sections. The first thing we have to do is we have to make something that this will attach to do two things. One thing, it won't flip up when you put weight on the forks, and when you're pulling the forks out, it can't come forward. That's a big thing. So, what am I going to use? Well, I found this. This is some tow hook from something. I have no idea where it came from, but what I did was I marked the center line of this bucket, which is a 5-foot bucket, and I marked the center line of this right here, of the pallet jack. What I'm going to do is I am going to attach this right here, so it gives me a point where I can hook anything up to it, like a chain or whatever. And what am I going to use to go from here to there is this. This is just a piece of angle. It came off of a, what did it come off of? Well, I think this came off of a bridge truss, but it's stuff that I have. And the reason why I picked this is because I can put this here and I can drill the holes. It's thick enough to where I can actually thread them in. Then I will cut this out, cut out a section here, and that way this can be welded to this and I can plate it all in, you know, and that way that is taken care of. And I'm gonna have this thing not free, it's gonna be welded to the bucket. It's not going to be bolted on. This is just gonna be welded on so it has the bolt holes in it, and this thing right here will come off with the pallet jack and you can just put the bolts right back in. That's pretty much it. That's just the easiest way I can see doing it, and then I'll just take other bits and pieces of this and weld it onto this so it won't go anywhere. And then we got to stabilize the bottom. But first things first, let's stabilize the top. And that way, after we stabilize the top, you know, I think we're good to go. All right, let me cut this up. Let me drill some holes in it, and we can get this thing all squared away. Oh, here we go. That is hot. What it is, let me run over. Angle brackets on the bottom of this. What's it for? Two things. First thing, side-to-side motion in case you hit something to put less stress on this top mount. Also, when you bring the bucket down, those mounts will also reduce the stress on this top mount because it won't allow the forks to kick up and bend the bucket or whatever. So I think we're doing pretty well there. Also, these holes that I drilled and tapped, they're M12s. I am matching what I did with the steering column. Everything on there is, well, on the tractor itself that goes into the tractor is an M12, which is a 12 by 1.5 pitch. So I'm making continuity. So I have the 4 bolts all there. So I made this as a grab handle and I welded into the back. I'm keeping the sides open just in case if this thing ever strips out, I can take a nut, put it in there, tack it in or whatever, or just put a nut in there and reef it down with a regular bolt. You know, that's it. Other than that, it's all there. There's your cheap, if not free, set of pallet forks using an arc welder. Not even a MIG, not a TIG, an arc welder. So you can pick those up cheap, trust me. All right, remember, you can do this. I'm just a hillbilly out here in New Hampshire, you know, and if my sander comes in tomorrow, I'm going to start working on the Audis. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do, you know. I might do another thing with the tractor. Don't know. We'll see. But other than that, thank you very much for showing up. I really appreciate it. You know, you can do this. Just recycle some stuff, you know. It's so much cheaper to recycle it than to have this all melted down and redone. So, you know, all right. Thank you very much for showing up. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. Bye now.